The cameras caught everything, or so everyone thought. Flashes of light, cheerful applause, and the polished smiles of stars on the red carpet. But in the midst of all that glamour, something real happened. Something raw. Something no one truly captured. The first clips went viral within minutes. Fans replayed every angle, every glance, every hesitant step. And yet, in all the footage, one moment remained invisible. The moment that would haunt hearts for months to come. It was supposed to be an ordinary meeting. Dylan Wang, composed and handsome, seated beside industry colleagues. Shen Yue, radiant in pale lavender, laughing for the cameras, polite and professional. But beneath the surface, the air was thick with unspoken words. A connection that had once felt inevitable now trembled on the edge of distance. The hug that everyone had expected, the hug that could have healed months of separation, never came. It started the moment they were introduced backstage. Photographers clicked, reporters whispered, and the press buses buzzed with anticipation. Dylan Wang approached the room with his usual confident stride, smiling at everyone he passed. But when his eyes landed on Shen Yue, something changed. Time seemed to slow. A fraction of a second stretched into eternity. Her smile faltered slightly, a faint tremor in the corner of her mouth, almost imperceptible. She had seen that look before, the one that spoke of longing, regret, and unspoken emotion. And for a heartbeat, Dylan Wang froze. Not because he didn't want to reach for her, but because the world was watching, and their story was far too complicated for public eyes. The stage was set, the awards lined up, and the crowd buzzing with excitement. They were both professionals, actors trained to perform, to smile, to laugh, to appear flawless. Yet, between them, a silent drama unfolded. A glance here, a hesitant step there, a hand almost reaching for another, then stopping midway. The hug, the embrace that could have spoken all the words neither of them dared to say. It lingered on the precipice, but never materialized. Shen Yue looked down, pressing a delicate hand to her chest, as if to steady her racing heart. Dylan Wang's shoulders stiffened, and for the first time that evening, the polished veneer cracked. Fans at home noticed the tension immediately. Comments poured in. Why isn't he hugging her? Is she upset? The chemistry is undeniable. Something is happening behind the scenes. But what they didn't see were the small, nearly invisible gestures. The way Dylan's hand lingered near her chair before retreating. The way Shen Yue's fingers twitched as if she wanted to reach out but held herself back. In those fleeting moments, they were not actors. They were two people who had loved, lost, and still remembered every heartbeat of each other. Later, when the ceremony officially began, the awards started rolling. Their names were called, their achievements celebrated, and the audience cheered. Yet every applause felt muted to them, like a distant echo against the storm raging silently between their hearts. Dylan Wang's laughter, usually light and carefree, carried a weight. Shen Yue's smile, typically radiant, was tinged with sorrow. And when the cameras panned the crowd, fans captured an image that would become iconic. Dylan seated beside colleagues, glancing sideways at Shen Yue. And Shen Yue seated several steps away, looking down, the distance between them more tangible than any red carpet could define. The press speculated endlessly. Had they quarreled? Was there tension over a new project? Had Bailu's presence earlier stirred old memories? The truth was far more delicate. It wasn't about anger or jealousy. It was about fear. Fear of vulnerability, fear of public scrutiny, fear of reigniting something neither of them was ready to confront fully. The hug didn't happen because they both knew. Sometimes the most meaningful gestures are the hardest to give. Sometimes love must remain unspoken. And sometimes, distance is the only way to protect a bond too fragile for the world. Backstage after the awards, the situation intensified. Shen Yue moved toward the exit, her movements graceful yet deliberate. Dylan Wang's eyes followed her, not openly, but with intensity. For a moment, the crowd and chaos fell away. He wanted to step forward, to call her name, to bridge the gap that had grown too wide in the months of separation. But the cameras were still rolling, and the world was watching. Instead, he stayed seated. His jaw tightened, And in that restraint, the hug never came. Outside, the night air carried a quiet, melancholy weight. Shen Yue paused briefly under the glow of the terrace lights, looking at her reflection in the glass. Memories flashed, laughing together on set, stolen glances between takes, quiet moments no one else had noticed. The hug, the embrace that could have healed everything. She wanted it. She longed for it. But she also understood why it didn't happen. Some moments are too precious to risk. Some confessions are too dangerous to speak. And sometimes love survives only in the space between gestures. Meanwhile, Dylan Wang lingered near the back, watching as she disappeared into the night. No one else saw the way his hands clenched briefly, or the faint tremor in his eyes as he tried to mask his longing. Fans who noticed his expression immediately took to social media. Did you see Dylan Wang just now? Something is happening between him and Shen Yue. The hug that never happened. He looked like he wanted to cry. The hashtag trended within hours. But only the two of them knew the truth. The hug had been more than physical contact. It was years of memory, of love, of unspoken words all condensed into a single invisible embrace that never materialized. Later, when both stars left the venue, they were spotted from afar by fans. Dylan paused near the valet area. Shen Yue walked slowly to her car. For a moment, it seemed as if they might cross paths, might finally bridge the gap that had grown between them. And yet, the hug never came. She entered her car without turning back. He stood there for a long second, watching, wishing but restrained. The distance remained, but so did the connection. Sometimes, the hug that never happens is more powerful than one that does. It lingers in the imagination. It carries the weight of all that is unsaid. It becomes legend. In the days that followed, fans pored over every clip, every angle. They debated endlessly about why Dylan Wang and Shen Yue didn't embrace. Some said tension. Some said scheduling conflicts. Some said drama for public image. The reality was simpler, yet infinitely more complicated. It was love restrained by circumstance. It was history and emotion, intertwined with fame and the unyielding gaze of the world. Even in the silence of the night, the memory of that almost hug remained alive. It haunted every glance they exchanged in public events that followed, every social media post that carried subtle hints of longing. Months later, at a different award show, the faint echo of that night resurfaced. Dylan Wang was asked about Shen Yue. His answer was carefully measured, but fans noticed his eyes, soft, distant, tinged with a vulnerability rarely seen in public. And Shen Yue. She smiled in interviews, spoke about projects, and remained poised. But every so often when